Question three. Do you believe you need to be passionate about what you create?
No, but I think you have to be like just in terms of me, I think you have to be able to find something um fulfilling in what you do. I think you can have a passion outside of it that fulfills your creativity, if doing something creative is your job.
Right.
Um, and I think that's what a lot of people do if being a creative person is your job. But you still have to find a moment in every day that scratches that itch
Yeah.
to do it in the way that fulfills you personally. I think, you know, I related to like, a rock musician or something. Like I imagine that if they've played some song 5,000 times, like they don't probably feel, but if they play just a little bit of a lick, just a little differently, then like, oh, okay, then that's all you needed, right?
Right.
And I think that that's really what at least that's what I am trying to do.
Right. Each thing kind of have your own little unique moment in it.
Yeah. I
Well,
I met this carpenter once and she was a amazing carpenter and she'd learned her trade building boats, which is one of the hardest in carpentry. It's one of the hardest parts of carpentry. I mean, I think it's really probably furniture making or cabinet making is, you know, second behind boats, or maybe
right.
they're tied for first, but it's
Right.
pretty hard. And she was building sets, and she told me like some days she just, yeah, it's a little boring, but you just have to find some little thing and say, well, I'm just gonna build this just a little bit better than I did. Yeah. And if you can do that, then you're getting it done.
You've touched on it a couple of times about having some, creative outlet outside of what you do. So what do you do for your creative outlet outside of work? Like I do music. That's
Right.
our gardening. That's kind of, my
Yeah.
creative things.
Yeah. So I think, I mean, gardening is definitely a big part. That has become a big part of my life. Um, a vegetable garden, but also um, plants. There's a really meditative part of taking care of plants that I really have come to enjoy.
Yeah.
Um, they're very much like people in that they have their own kind of personalities.
Yeah.
And when you go to water them, you kind of check in on each one and kind of see how they're doing. And it's like a person. Each one
Right.
is just a little bit different. I really like collaging. I haven't done it in a while, but I have a pretty extensive back catalog of collages that maybe someday that'll be something I display. A lot of the books that I have are books that I have just for collaging, pulling pictures out of.
Right.
Um, I really like that kind of DIY Raymond Pettibon to like Adbusters kind of world of art. Um, I really like how accessible it is.
Right.
Um, and I really like the fact that it doesn't require me to invest so much time. My friends that are painters say, it's just so hard because if you have other stuff going on, just getting to the studio,
Right.
getting back in there, getting set up. By the time you get set up to start painting, it's an hour,
Yeah.
and then you've only got a couple hours, and then you got to go, And I love how, like, with collage, you can really just step into it and step back out of it really easily.
Right.
Um, I would love to learn to paint. It's probably something that I will end up doing at some point, um, just because I'm kind of fascinated by it,
Right.
um, especially people that are really good at it. I mean, it's kind of stunning
Yeah.
when you go see Picasso and you see how he was an amazing figurative painter. I mean, he could paint figuratively with the best of them,
Right.
and then threw it all away to do his work that he's famous for. I really enjoy that, and I really enjoy seeing art and experiencing art. I like going to galleries. I like going to shows. I like talking with artists, seeing what they're up to. So that's another huge creative outlet. I ran a gallery with a couple of guys in another life also. So that would be another dream at some point, maybe to run a gallery again.